We're here in Ettrick, Wisconsin at Marv Janice's farm.
Marv and Janice are our friends that we met while we came through Wisconsin on our first trip across the country.
Our idealistic view was that we'd have 5 to 6 weeks to work on this, but in reality we had 2.5.
So on the average day we wake up around sunrise, and after breakfast we typically have our meeting where we lay out the tasks that need to be done today. So
from there on out it's basically just work, work, work until the sun goes down.
What's up, E?
Let's get some barrels, wood, building a bus.
It's excellent, sir.
And in that 2.5 weeks we had to design and engineer a new vegetable oil kit.
We had to remove all the bus seats and build a new interior.
We had to build a safari rack on the roof.
We had to paint the bus so it looked like a BioTour bus.
Inside and out, plus wire the whole thing for electricity.
We had to weld a vegetable oil storage and filtration system underneath the bus.
Oh, and we also had to clean and feed ourselves.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
One of my first 3 scattering adventures with Tavi. We also sucked up a condom into the pump, which clogged it, which is gross. So we get that out, and then we broke apart a spaghetti strainer, little metal screen thing, and tied that around the end of the hose, and we made a great evolutionary leap in the world of grease.
We had some visitors that helped us out. Star and Tim, 2 MIT people we met on various occasions across the country, who wanted to lend their engineering, welding, and electrical skills to help us build this bus.
Adam, what are you cutting, man?
I am cutting a 40-inch piece for the bunk bed in the back, and it's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Where he'll try to sleep while the bus moves.
It'll be a fun time.
How long ago did you get here?
I just got here about 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago?
Right to work.
And what's your first project?
Building the bunk.
In the back of a school bus.
Back of the school bus.
I picked up Adam at the airport. He flew in after just finishing AmeriCorps. Immediately I realized he had a solid understanding of the issues, and he'd been building houses for the past year, and we knew he'd be a great BioTour crew member.
The idea of the bunk bed came about because when we visited Keith at Fullerton College, he was like, why don't these guys have a bunk bed? So yeah, Keith saw our bus and he saw potential to build a bunk bed. And Keith also came up with the idea when he was looking at the bus seats that we'd removed, he saw that they kind of fit into the ceiling. And he started grinding the legs off one of them and riveted one in, and it made this really great luggage rack. So we put those all down one side. Jeremy came up with this clever idea for a bench on the other side that had storage.
Now for the moment of truth. This is the moment when we find out whether I'm a moron or a genius.
Nothing in between.
Clearly I'm a genius.
And between Fernando, Jeremy, and Keith, they managed to construct the whole table that folds into a bed.
How does it work? What does it do?
Here's the table. Lift this up. And here's our supports. Turn it into a table.
Sweet.
Fernando welded the roof rack.
We're going to watch this video later and then evaluate your efficiency so we can come up with a good hourly wage.
Oh, really? That's my performance?
Yeah, but because we don't have any money to pay you a wage, it's going to determine your food rations. Is Fernando using his calories of energy wisely? How can he improve on that?
So far, I am beating Ethan.
And Keith and Ethan spent a lot of their time underneath the bus. And Maggie painted this ceiling, this lovely sky blue. And she was also a big part in painting the exterior of the bus and priming it and prepping it and all of that. Yeah, and we found time to, have some fun in between.
At night we'll occasionally, we'll watch a movie on the projector on the side of the barn. And then Maggie and I oftentimes just pulled mattresses onto the roof of the bus so we could sleep under the stars.
My first impression of Maggie was that she was very grounded and able to deal with the instability that's inherent in bus life. And also, I knew that she worked on a ship, and so I wanted help with tying things down on the roof of the bus.
My first impression of Keith was it might be difficult to work with this man, but we quickly learned that once I learned his sense of humor, it became a lot easier and we worked well together.
Keith bitches a lot. He just is constantly complaining, but he's joking almost all the time. And so once you realize that, it becomes very hilarious, and he's like a very sprightly, lighthearted fellow.
Most of the time.
And he's good at fixing things. For the most part, it was much of the orc side of our plork balance.
Out of context, no one will understand that. That's okay.
Plork. It's the harmonious balance of play and work that we all strive to achieve.
There we go, the context that we needed.
Yay. With the new bus almost fully assembled and our whole crew almost there,
We gather on top of this hill one last time in Wisconsin. Gonna head west tonight, across the country once again, and the tour begins.